Hello and welcome to Fingers on Plastic. I'm Little Dave, and again today we are going to be looking at another Masters of the Universe from Super 7. So today, this is one what Si's been nagging about for ages. He's been wanting to see this guy, so I ended up having to get him. This is Beastman, one of the original henchmen of Skeletor. Really nice looking figure again. As always, original style packaging. Flip him over and look on the back. I believe this guy was from Wave 2 when Super 7 did these. Quick look at the artwork as well. Here we go, and if you can read that, it says about Beastman being able to command the creatures of Eternia to attack He-Man and everyone. Right, as always, I'll get this guy out of his packaging and we'll actually have a look at the figure. So, Beastman's now out of his packaging. As usual, we're going to look at the card, which is there to replace the mini comic. So again, like all of these, whoever's done these artwork, I think it's 2 artists have been doing them, from what I gather. His name's down there. Oh, his signature for this one. I don't know what he's called. Maybe research it if you're interested. Another really nice piece of artwork of how he looked in the cartoon. Now if we flip over the back, we can look. Now, I have been saying this wrong. I believe these middle drawings are how they looked in the TV commercials before the cartoon came along. So obviously here's his original toy look. Obviously that's how they did the TV commercial for the toy, and eventually that skipped on to how he actually looked in the Filmation cartoon. Now, one of the differences with this figure and how he looked in the cartoon was obviously the original one didn't have boots on, whereas in the animation he did. Also as well, the original figure had like a furry effect on, I believe, his arms, his legs at the bottom, and also his chest as well, if you removed his like sort of main collar there. But obviously in the cartoon he was more just standard arms. There probably was a little bit of an effect on his arms there to make him look a little bit fuzzy, but not quite the same. Obviously he wore boots as well. So yeah, that's the card as normal. Let's have a look at the figure. Now, here he is. Another really nice looking figure, which obviously, oh, and he's whatever these are, I don't know what you'd call them. They were bits of armour, aren't they? That slid down. So yeah, the original one, this is quite, it's not really furry looking as such like the original one. It's still quite cool because obviously it's supposed to match his look in the Filmation cartoon more. But it isn't quite the same. Let's get this a little bit lower, get a better look at him. There we go. So yeah, he's got a nice head sculpt as well. Very good look. That keeps falling. Might have to tighten that. Is there a way of tightening it? I don't know. I'll have to investigate that, and I'll slide it up slightly. Yeah, his face sculpt is very nice. Another really good one what captures his look from his cartoon very well. On the back, obviously very similar to the original toys. Just a little bit of strapping there to hold it in place. But yeah, as I was saying, obviously like we've had with the other figures so far, there's no sort of moulded detailing other than sort of like wristbands. You know, his legs are similar to all the others so far. Yeah, there's no sort of detail. He hasn't, obviously, because the original toy, as we can see, never wore boots. He had more sort of furry feet. And same on his arms. And obviously his chest is the same as the others so far as well. So there's no fur effect. Right, as usual, we'll have a quick look at his power punch. Quite a decent one again. Not too much of a wobble on him. Right, let's have a look at his accessories. Now, I should have pre-done this. I've still got them in the bag, which is a bit silly. I should have done that before I started filming the second bit of this video. I'll get them out now. So it comes with 2 accessories. His first one is his whip, which is styled like his original toy one. So very much a very big looking chunky handle, which clips on there. There's his whip. And also his other accessory is obviously one to do with the Filmation cartoon. Now, I believe this is something to do with Orko. I can't remember whether he steals it off Orko or something. It's in an episode involving Orko apparently. And it's like a big jewel. So I suppose you can put that around his neck. If I can actually do it. As per usual, I'm useless at doing them. There we go. Now, I don't think I'd ever display him with that, to be fair. I don't think I'd ever display him with the whip. I don't know, I think it looks a bit stupid. I always think it did. Back in the days, I believe it's because it was actually one of these things what was used over from a different Mattel toy line, which they gave him. So that's why it always looked a bit strange. I believe that's true, I might be wrong. But, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. To be fair, I think he'd look alright with nothing in his hands, just as he is. So yeah, he's quite an interesting character. He was one I never owned as a kid. The cartoon obviously portrayed him as a bit dim-witted, a bit of a fool. But yeah, he was always one of those main henchmen. Always seemed to be him and Trapjaw what used to hang around and do stuff together quite a lot. So that's cool with Merman as well. I've now probably got the main 3 henchmen, which I quite like. Well, the 3, which was featured on the intro of the cartoon, actually. That's cool. But yeah, articulation as always with these. Bit of an head turn. It's a bit hard to turn his head on this one though, unfortunately, because of this sort of main collar. Gets in the way quite a bit, so there's not really much of a head turn. Obviously, arms up and down. Nice feature where his shoulder thing keeps falling down. So yeah, arm up and down. Wobbly legs. And a bit of the splits on. This one's a bit loose on mine. Not the tightest joint. He'll still stand up probably, I hope. Yeah, ish. Get that up because it's doing my head in now. There we go. Let's get him stood up. There we go. Get the camera a bit low so you can have a better look at him. There it is. Right, I'll just have a quick size comparison with original He-Man. As you can see there, about the same size. All of these are scaled in there 5.5 inch. Obviously, to be like the original toys. So that's it then. Another quick video. As I say, these figures are a little bit on the basic side. There's not a lot to them, but they are like the original toys. So that's me done with this one. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll be back again with another figure very shortly.
Fingers on plastic.